Alright, welcome back to the Supercoach Nuff channel. In this video we're going to review round 21 of the 2024 NRL Fantasy season. And I guess a really good week for us, a good week for a lot of people, particularly if you brought in one particular player and put the C on. But 1,054 points this week, so cracked the 4 digis, which is always nice. You can see it was about top 4,000 for the round. And it's pushed us up inside the top 9k. So if we just take a little stroll down memory lane, I think I was slightly further ahead after round 2. Yes, 8,800. But then after that, it severely fell away. And we've been clawing back ever since from about 25k, maybe even a bit lower. So, like I said, it's nice to be back inside the top 10k. And I guess continuing that upward trajectory. But if we have a look at the team, Harry Grant scored us 54, which was a nice return. Anthony Blake with 67, so another great score for him. I just realised it's gone to the round 22, but that's fine. Mitch Barnett with a 53. So we could have brought in Payne Haas a little bit cheaper and got a few more points, but we did want Barnett because he does offer a bit more flexibility, which is nice. Isaiah Yeo with a 70, so fantastic return from him. Kyle Matangi with 74 just continues to kill it at the back end of this season. Dave Fafita with a 66, you know, in a game where he looked a bit out of it in the first half, but just finds a way. And then Nathan Cleary obviously tunning up 112, and as I said, those that captained him, which was a pretty popular choice, but were handsomely rewarded this week. Lockie Galvin with a 43, you know, he continues to be solid. Isaac Tungo with a 29, so just can't seem to find a try. So hopefully his time will come. Jacob Carraz with a 72, you know, there was meters everywhere for the backs at the Dogs just running around the Broncos. I guess the only downside to that game was I wasn't actually able to be there to see them break their losing streak at Suncorp. But Jai Gray with a 52, that's a really solid return for him. 62 for James Tedesco, he was quite good in the game on Saturday night. And Tom Trbojevic with a 31, they did pretty well to keep Tommy Turbo pretty quiet. Excuse me there. Reed Money with a 35 off the bench. Ditto Josh Curran. Braden Trindle, we brought in as a, you know, probably our starting half if he wasn't playing so late in the round. But 57 from him was a fantastic return. You know, that's sort of what we thought we would get. And at 550k, that is excellent value. The Hammer we bought in thinking he could go large against the Titans, but in the first half I thought it was on, but he only ended up on a 30. But that's fine. You know, we did want the centre and wing fullback cover that he provides. Brendan Hands with a 41, so it would have been nice to have his points up here. But he's still in the team, so that's fine. And Fino with a 31, still bottom dollar, so he must have had a really terrible break even after all those games that he was on the bench and getting very low scores. Excuse me again, the man flu's got me. I'm trying to mute it out as best I can. But we'll have a look at the league and how it went. So ended up, yeah, I think that was the matchup this week. Yeah, Team Gibbon won. So top of the table, and we got him by close to 100. So having a look through, maybe a lack of Cleary was the difference. But pretty solid team, you know, like Tom Starling for his price, 55 is fantastic. Ryan Madison, an interesting pod with 59. Jacob Preston with 65. Captain Fafita. So obviously, you know, missed out on about 50 points on the captaincy plus the 100 that, or I guess we'll say 40 given Fogarty got 74. So about 100 points with the different captaincy route there. Jerome Hughes to 55 is good too. Jack Whiten with the 61, so he was one I was considering bringing in. Jaden Campbell 63, so well done getting on him. And then I had Kiraz on the bench, so that's pretty handy as well. Benched Plath and Gray's scores as well, so there might have been a little bit of room for growth, but I think, yeah, not having Cleary definitely didn't help there. If I go back to the fixtures, excuse me again. So a high scoring one at the top there with Parabeast and Mamke Mania both getting over 1,000. Same with Big Kefe and Big Keefe, or rather, and the Fantasy Wannabes. Looks like I just got on top of them, but what could possibly go wrong with a 1084? So let's have a look at that. So he's on the right. So has Payne Haas with that 70. Ryan Madison features. Captain Cleary, obviously. Had Ruben Garrick and still got a 1080. So Wishart did well to hold on to him this week. Yeah, that's a decent bench. Trindle, Fafita, Campbell, Kalamatangi. It still has Eero and Hands in reserve. So pretty well set up there, Eric, for a late push for the finals. Speaking of which, we will have a look at the ladder. So with one round to go before the head-to-head finals, but Paul's still got a 2-point lead at the top. Probably needs to win this week to lock it in, given Helen Keller's optometrist is pretty close on points difference. Actually, must go on points scored because Wepo's winners has got an even bigger points differential. So I guess, yes, especially when you look at that, both Wesley and Adam above Paul in terms of overall points. So definitely wanting to, push upwards there. So after that, there's 4 of us all on 24. So I guess with results potentially going my way, I could push up into the top 4, which is pretty wild. And then Titanic 2024, so got the draw. I forgot about that fixture earlier in the season, so that could be the difference. That extra point could get Vimal into the finals. But Eric will be going hard again this week with the Nathan Cleary injection to try and get it done. Fantastic. So I guess having a look at those fixtures as well. It doesn't show the positions, which would be helpful, but I guess so. Team given against the Fantasy Wannabe, so I know Wes will be pushing hard for a big finish. So I'm up against Helen Keller's optometrist, so that'll be a tough one. Adam's been killing it all season. And Wepo's winners against what could possibly go wrong. So a few big games there in terms of the top 8 and how it's set up. So yeah, good luck to everyone with that this week. I guess the reason why I'm dwelling so much on that is I don't really have any desire to make trades this week. I've only got one trade left, and I did talk about being able to go from Galvin to Haas would be the finished team, but the reality is we've still got 6 rounds to go. There will be injuries, and I've got a little bit of cover, but yeah, it's probably not ideal to sort of force a move if I don't have to. And I'm still pretty happy with this 17, although Tommy Turbo won't play this week, so probably Hands will get a run. Ideally, Edwards isn't too far off, but they won't rush him back given how good they're going. Excuse me, I was trying to hold out for the end of the video, but couldn't quite get there. And in terms of captain, vice captain, it's probably not going to be too different, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, I can't go past Cleary as captain, so it probably doesn't really matter at that point. Maybe for feeder against the Broncos, they're struggling for a bit of form. So we'll lock that in perhaps. Yeah, so it'll just end up being hands playing over Fino, but we'll cop that. Tommy Turbo having the week off. But we'll finalise everything in the round preview coming up on Thursday. Obviously, team list still to drop, that sort of thing. So if you've got any questions, comments, thoughts, feel free to add them below this video. Give us a like if you enjoy the NRL Fantasy content. Subscribe for all the fantasy sports content on the channel, including FPL and NFL. About to get that up and running. Hopefully tomorrow if the man flu lifts overnight. But other than that, we'll catch you in the next one.